Well, we got a couple rednecks getting delivered. Check that out right there. Of course, we scouted last year, made some notes, knew we needed to get some rednecks at some prime locations. And today, we've got some work ahead of us. Gonna put these up. Looking forward to this fall hunting out these new rednecks. Look at that.
Daniel and I are out scouting for some places, put a couple of new redneck blinds. Gosh, I'm so excited about this. And we bring out a 10-foot ladder. A lot of rednecks are 10 foot at the base, so it's a perfect way to scout. And here, little hidey food plot right here that we saw a bunch of deer on. Had some trouble getting winded. Seems the stroll here, being in that blind, will be a big help. Shoot a couple hundred yards this way, and there's another redneck on a trailer down there in a hidey food plot. Man, we saw a bunch of deer last year, us and our Moultrie camera. We're gonna have to do a little trimming this way, so you may have to use your imagination a little, but we're gonna be able to get at least a 100-yard Winchester shot this way and still have a little cover. We're gonna knock out all the little trees, trim up the big trees. And this way, just an old field, we saw a bunch of bucks just pushing does, whatever, back in here to the timber line. So we're gonna trim out these little trees and cedars in here and burn this, manage this native vegetation, have our hidey food plot right here to draw them in, and have a 4-way shot out of redneck. You'd be busy doing this. You're never bored when you're doing that. Have a couple of hidey food plots we're watching, and just know we're in a travel corridor. Last year was our first year to hunt the proving grounds too intently. And you know, when you're starting on new property, a lot of times you don't know where you want to go, where you want to put your blinds. So we used a redneck trailer blinds. It worked out perfect. I put one here, and I actually hunted here some days, saw a bunch of deer crossing through that valley, saw some good bucks. So now we're gonna move this to another place, do some scouting there. In a couple days, we're gonna put a 10-foot tower redneck here because we know it's a great location. Rather than putting your blind up without doing any scouting, get you a ladder, get up there and look around, make sure the view's good, or actually spend some time hunting it, and then you can put a blind there with confidence. So we're just putting up a brand new 10-foot redneck, but we got a 4-way here, so we can see down this utility easement this way, much further this way. Got a little acre or two pocket here where someone actually come in and scooped all the dirt, so it's really poor soil, trees and grass is starting to take it over. And back this way, I strongly prefer shooting a bow and a firearm out of the vertical windows on a redneck blind. Gives you much more flexibility, just playing with micro ways to get a window, on a vertical window on each of the 4-ways here. And man, when you're covering 100 to 300 yards out of a 4-way, you're covering a lot of acres. Excited to hunt out this blind this fall. Awesome. There's nothing in the Ozarks flat, not even the Stuff Mart parking lot, but just a little adjustment, we can get this level. And you want it level or leaning slightly back so you have a comfortable all-day set. Oh, my dad's lip. So careful with this. We made a living with this for many years. Many years. In this blind, we can see 4 ways, so we want that baby level, so no matter which way we turn, it feels good. All right, so we're just checking our level here. You can eyeball it. You never get it right eyeballing because the horizon's not flat, anything like that. So you can look at the bubble here. We're just slightly off. Austin eyeballed this, and he is very close. You could hunt out this, but while we're here and got help, we're going to get a little closer. So you can see when I do this over a 4-foot span, I got just a little room to level. Austin, here's my level point right there. It's about an inch over 4 feet.
Hard work.
Just setting the blind off on the stand. Fiberglass slide's pretty easy, so slide it over there. Then there's some bolts that go through the floor of the blind into the base. It'll be good to rock. Oh yeah, that's beautiful there. That's beautiful there. Oh yeah. Plenty of room over my head, and the vertical window allows me to shoot close or far, no problem. plenty of room to draw a bow. If a blind only had a horizontal window, I'm limited to about a 5-yard shot, then I get up in this. So huge difference. Great design by Redneck. And with all these windows, I can shoot 360. Just about got this first Redneck up and completed. But it's not just that simple. You know, we had a hang-on stand right over here that both Daniel and I hunted last year, saw a bunch of deer, watched how they behaved, had a trail camera over here, watched how deer come and go. And then we brought a 10-foot ladder out here because we knew we didn't want it right where we had the hang-on stand, and actually climbed, you know, a foot here, move around a little bit to get the center of that blind just right. Now this, you know, this is the Ozarks. It's not in the middle of a big Iowa ag field. You want it just right so you can see in all the nooks and crannies and maximize the opportunities of seeing deer. Y'all know my relationship with eastern red cedar trees, so it doesn't give me any heartburn to remove that cedar tree, at least prune it heavily, and open up a big shooting lane up through here. This road goes way on back in here. That's a big amount of view for a buck to cross. So we've already scouted this, but I want to give you an idea of what we're looking at. Do a little trimming in here, open that up. This baby will be ready to rock. On another utility right-of-way, this one has to be a big power line right-of-way, so it's wider. Putting the Redneck blind right next to the timber here so we can see both ways, man. These are like windows through a buck's bedroom. The utility company's gonna keep this pretty short, or you can mow it if you want to. And you're just watching deer cross. So for firearms hunting, then if you want to bow hunt out of this blind, make a little high-deal food plot right here. If deer have been crossing 100 yards one way or the other, you sweeten this with the high-deal food plot, you're gonna be crossing right here. Put the ladder on this side. That one's got a ladder on the other side. Feels really good. A couple of Redneck blinds put up on 10-foot bases in key places that we scouted and hunted last year. There's a Redneck on a trailer blind. That wasn't quite high enough to see over a couple of the hills here, but it let us know bucks were passing through the area. We're gonna move that trailer blind to another place, scout there a while, may end up putting a 10-footer there, but in this steep topography, that elevation being on a 10-foot base lets us see over the ridge and get a much longer shot, you know, out to 200 or 300 yards. On right-of-ways like this, sometimes you may have to weed eat or brush hog if the power company doesn't maintain it frequently enough, because you don't want to be sitting there and deer able to slide through and all you're seeing is their antlers above the brush, can't see the vitals. It's always amazing how much vegetation can grow, get a little rain or something. It's a good thing to get out there before deer season, check all these things out. I really encourage folks to scout, figure out what you want to do. Don't just stick the blind up and then wish you had it a couple feet one way or another. Working with some buddies, getting all excited, talking about deer season is a great way to enjoy creation. But even more importantly, is to be quiet and seek the Creator's will for your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.